All right, and welcome back for another Cobalt's Couch. I've been joined by Nada from
Hello?
Rally Monsters, right?
Yep, Rally
Yep.
Monsters.
Buttons from the PlayStation League,
Let's go! I'm
and
here finally.
and Ash Dude from Riptide.
Howdy, howdy.
I think you've made the most tracks for this season.
Yes,
I believe, yeah,
I've made 3.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, well, that last one hasn't been approved yet.
Well, yeah.
All right, so we just had Riptide Slide, and I did all the editing on this one, and very quickly I realized, right at the end, I noticed that some of the drivers were a bit worn out, a bit exhausted. Everyone pushed themselves quite hard. How do you feel about the race, Nato?
It was very, very close.
It was.
It's an incredible track. I loved Riptide Slide. It's one of my favorite in the entire season. I loved training. I loved racing on it. The catwalk was definitely the most difficult part of the track. The first lap, there was 3 or 4 people who died there. It was messy.
Yeah, it was nuts. Even on following laps, outside the first lap, you'd see people would stop dead and get in the way of people. Just to not fall off.
That happened a lot in practice races as well, where you really need to slow down to take those corners because it's got the kind of ramp going up to it. Yeah. And then there's one person who can take a corner way faster than you, right? And they'll just ram into the side of your car.
Yeah.
I can see that Dan is at the bottom where he belongs.
Yeah, I wonder who constantly hit people on the catwalk in practice races.
Let me guess him. He does that a lot during our practices.
You don't have to
I
invite him to practices.
Oh no, he would just show up.
Yeah, he just shows up.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't kick people. Thanks, Milestone. My private lobby, but I can't decide who's in it. Thanks. So yeah, it was a crazy race. There was a lot of back and forth. First place changed a lot of times. So it was pretty much anyone's race for a fair bit of it. Those two Riptide boys were always at the front of the pack, and Nada, you got flipped over on the second corner or something.
Yeah,
that put you way
every time
back.
I spawn up. Every time I spawn up in the front at the beginning of a race, it's I know what's gonna happen. I'm somehow going to get taken all the way back to the end of the pack somehow. It just always happens. I just don't like spawning in the front, but it happens.
But you did fight your way back up. I think you've gotten second 2 weeks in a row now, haven't you?
Yep, second.
Rough. Gotta get that big win.
It is what it is.
I will admit, though, I'm super happy to see BHR win a race for a change.
Yeah,
this is the first time it's ever happened.
I saw G11 was doing really insane on all of the practice races, and I'm really happy to see him get his invite for Acceleron.
Yeah. It's the first time a BHR driver has actually won a race in Acceleron League. So that was pretty cool.
Gotta step up your game, Norton.
Not a very nice thing to say. All right, we'll jump over. I just want to, before we continue on Acceleron, we will talk about the fact that console leagues are racing next week. They're on Man on a Mission, so it's going to be crazy. Now, if
it's a really tough track.
Yeah, it's
great track.
It's a popular track. People love it. I think there's 3 people that don't like it or something. And I think
Dandu probably is one.
I think all
my
of them
team
don't like the
captain
spiral.
on Xbox is one of them.
Oh, then it's definitely Dandu. Yep.
Dan isn't our team captain on Xbox.
I don't like the spiral. It's so boring, man, and it's just awkward shaped. It's an awkward size.
It's very strange.
It feels good when you have a bar boost car because you hit the boost pads and then there's the fans and you want to boost.
Yeah.
So when you're on a pip, it kind of wastes half of the pip.
Yeah.
For some reason, my car just picks up speed during the spiral, so I can even pass Dasher during the spiral.
Interesting. So if we look at our lineup here, we've got our top 12. Yeah, top 12. RMD, is it his time to win yet or what? I'm surprised he hasn't taken a win.
Well, he's caught slacking.
I mean, he's always done really well on parkour, so it's kind of surprising to see him not win on parkour.
And it's not even like he lost to a better car. Pickle was in another.
Well, yeah. Pickle was in the same car.
Yeah,
both in Power Rocket.
Oh, it's just that I believe he died at the end, right? Or no, is that the other one?
I think it was they were just genuinely neck and neck the whole race. Like they were passing people together. It was always the two of them there. And was that a Roger Dodger that came third, Mother J?
Yep.
That's
Roger
insane.
Dodger. He's so good with the Roger Dodger.
Roger Dodger doesn't normally do well in these things, so it was crazy to see.
Well, just Mother J is a good driver.
Dasher finished very low, and that was, I believe, that was Paul's fault. Paul come off and took him out with him, so that was not ideal. I think that was on the second lap, and that's what put Dasher so far back. Buttons, what happened to you? Don't you normally come third?
I was going to say, it's really weird to see Buttons and Fidestic that low as well.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I've never been good at parkour, even though I love this track. Second of all, we had the DC issue, and I was so confused on whether we should restart or not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Generally, if you're not told to restart, don't
Yeah, we know that now. It's just this doesn't happen often.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Wait, so did the person DC on purpose?
I believe it looks like they just left, considering they were driving a second sooner. They left, and I believe there was like a punching of something, some sort of loud bang as something was thrown or hit immediately afterwards.
Oh.
And then he just quit contact and stuff.
Yeah, it was also like immediately after a big crash too.
I assume on the first corner.
No, it was like the.
Oh,
it was after the jump part.
Section,
he hit the flags and stuff at the end.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah. All right, and then we have Xbox. Gore, second place. That's his best performance he's gotten in a race so far. He put in so much effort grinding to try and get there.
Yeah, he was practicing a ton, asking all of the really good players, even though they don't also drive Time a Taxi, for them to get like recordings to him. He was putting in the time.
Yeah, he very much earned it. Obviously, Corp is just a phenomenal driver and is hard to beat. Bizor and Bread finishing up top is kind of expected too. So realistically, it's just Gore has finished up with those top three, who've just been dominating this season. Like, I think they've pretty much all podiumed every race they've been in. And then if we're looking into who is potentially doing well for Man on a Mission, it's Gore's track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Gore's track.
So he might have a bit of a upper hand there. Gunnar hates the track, so he's probably not going to do well. It seems to be not his kind of track. He's not going to put in the time to grind it because it is awful to do time trials on.
It is very bad to do time trials on. I hate doing time trials on.
What's so bad about doing time trials on it?
It's just boring. It's just a very boring and long track to keep doing.
It's because it's fun with other people, but when there's no other people, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Like endurance track sometimes.
Yeah. Oh man, it's not as bad as doing Infinitrack, but
yeah, I mean, it was like the same thing with Riptide Slide, right? I couldn't practice that one without other people for an extended period of time.
Also, I believe the track is completely different with other people, since you speed up on some part that you don't usually speed up without other people.
Yeah.
And stuff. It just also contact can cause you to flung off the track, so it's kind of better to practice with other people so that you get used to it rather than without other people.
Well, you guys would be very fortunate that you haven't done Infinitrack in the past 2 seasons because the training for that, the time trials for a 4.5 minute track just going straight are awful. It's one of the most abysmally painful things to try and time trial.
At that point, it's not even worth it.
Yeah. At that point, I do like 3 races with friends and then kind of just run by the seat of my pants.
But like also because of just how intense that race is, you have to put the time in if you want to do well because you need to like learn your lines, learn your wiggle spots. It's a lot of track to learn as well. So not knowing it going in means you're going to make errors. But fortunately, we don't have it in the lineup this season. Roro, though, I think this is going to be his track. I think he uses Boost Bar as well.
He's in a Jesco,
He's
so
in the
he's
Jesco.
2-pip.
I think that might be fine because it is the Jesco and he is one of the top drivers. The track does kind of favour the Boost Bars, especially the Spiral section. So maybe Gunner does have a shot because the Boost Bar's been letting him down all season. It's just I don't think he's going to put the time in to do it. But we also have the other concern is that now Windows version is live. A bunch of PC players might get in on this one.
Oh, I'm going to try to. I have been able to just jump on Xbox and play this, but now that the Windows version is up, I'm planning to probably get in on this one.
Yeah.
I also have a question about it. Can you transfer like tracks and liveries that you made over?
Oh yeah, I've transferred all of my tracks and liveries over from PC.
You can.
Oh, I can't wait to play. I
Sure.
can't wait to play those.
It is such a chore to do it though. It is like
Yeah.
very. I am amazed anyone has figured it out. The amount of effort you have to put in to transfer your save.
Does that mean that we can have like the same tracks next season?
Yeah. As long as the people who make them on PC can also have the Windows version and transfer it.
Yeah. As long as they're willing to transfer their save, which is quite an effort.
Yeah.
So, like, I personally,
ever since I've seen Temple of Time, I've really wanted to play it.
I gave it a shot. I couldn't figure it out, so I just modded everything.
I mean, it's. Oh, go ahead.
Couldn't you give it to someone? Like, for example, Power Pipes gave me his save before, and I was able to have all his liveries and stuff. So couldn't someone someone who's already understood how to transfer your save, someone could say, "Hey, could you port this track to console?" And then you could just give them your save.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think the other issue with that is some of these tracks, such as Smooth Drift, which is really popular, we don't have contact with the creator. So we don't have a way to do that unless someone was to just rebuild it.
Yeah.
Rebuilding tracks is a chore, and my mind is blown at how good a job Socks did.
We did for Cobalt.
Yeah. One of the neat things about this experience has been really seeing like the differing mindsets when it comes to tracks between PC and console. Yeah. Because I've got tracks on PC that people just absolutely love, right? And they think it's a fantastic track. And then I ported it to console and played it with the console guys, and they were like, I don't like this track, right? Like, I can't catch up to people, or this is difficult, stuff like that. So it's very different.
The PS guys are so divided between what tracks are good. There's like the tryhards that make like the hardest tracks possible, and then there's like the really cool things, and the really cool guys that make like awesome tracks, but they're always fighting against each other to see whose tracks are better.
I think there needs to be like a healthy mix, right? Yeah. Like the track can't just be brain dead easy, but it's like you can do some fun stuff and add some difficulty to the track.
What I find funny is that Dandoob is in the camp for like the trick tracks and stuff, like the hardest tracks. Yet he can't even finish them in when we race together.
Yeah, Dandoob taking L's even when he's not on the couch.
Them beans.
All right. We'll go back to Acceleron from here. Where were we? So, I think we've discussed everything we can about Riptide Slide. It was surprising. We saw 3 people that have won a track already. So 3 people that already have their invite this season, and none of them made podium, which was crazy. Like, Kami and Jal finished very low, especially like considering how much they've dominated their races that they won.
Yeah, there was the unfortunate spot on the tunnel where someone went to do a trick and accidentally took out Kami.
Yeah. So actually, I should address that. We're just outright saying no more tricks. If you do a trick and you take someone out because of your carelessness, that will be considered an intentional takeout.
That's fair.
Because that's race ending. Like, that was Kami having a shot at top 4 or top 5. I think he was in 5th at the time. And it cost him a lot of spots on the last lap too.
Yeah, it's race ending for both. It's just the person who took Kami out got really lucky with how he landed.
Yep. Well, I watched it from his perspective because his video did go up eventually. And he barely got, he got a slight bump to the back of his car, and that was about it. It didn't really do much to him at all. And then also saw in the footage, there's one part where Sol puts Nader into the wall and on the last lap. But then if you look at it from Sol's perspective, he gets pit maneuvered by Nader, and that's why he goes into the wall in the first place. So,
milestone moment.
Yeah, it was just pure desync, and both of them are swearing about it. Both of them.
That's Sol, right? It's funny to watch his point of views, right? And someone will bump him, and then on their screen they're not even bumping him. He's cursing them out. It's really funny to watch.
Wild Riders have just shot up in points, even though they had a kind of mediocre finish this time. Crocs in 9th and Ty in 5th is it's not major points. Riptide has passed Syndicate, but it's only a 1 point difference. And then BHR, Rally Monsters are very close to each other, fighting for 4th.
5 points.
And Dandoob was saying in I think it was before or after the recording that I did with him for commentary on parkour, when they were at 59, he was like, we need to get 10 points next season. We need to just throw and get 10 points for the next race. And they didn't even do that. They didn't even make the 10 points that he considered throwing. And that was without trying to throw.
Now they have to find a way to just get 1 point.
You can't
on the next
get
race.
1 point.
It's not possible.
2
but
is
they
last.
need to try.
Last place gets 2 points. So even if they had just one driver, still 2 point minimum.
It'll never happen.
Oh no.
Dandu moment.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. They can't get the funny number.
I guess those beans don't help after all.
No.
Well, maybe they should just try winning for a change. I honestly thought
they should just put more beans on their cars. The beans are the fuel. Their cars run on beans.
Hey, Jarl won one race.
Yeah, exactly. We thought they might have a shot because he won the second race, and that's it. That's all that's happened.
Did he get killed this race?
I wouldn't be surprised if he killed himself while trying to take someone out.
Possibly. I think he just got passed by people, really. I think it was just a matter of he was just outclassed by other drivers. Because he certainly was in 3rd and 4th for a little while. He was in 4th for a fair bit. But then, he just got passed by everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long track with a lot of spots to pass people.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of passing opportunities. Even in the spiral where no one drifts, it's just, people are just...
Well, yeah, that spiral drives a lot more like a long straight with a slight left.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you actually have to drift it.
Yeah, at the end you drift it to get your boost up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like you were a bit exhausted after that race, Nader.
Oh, yeah, it was intense. Riptide, I don't know if this was intentional from the start or they just thought about it during the race, but they had this idea where the two of them would stay together because then it would be harder for anyone to pass since you'd have to pass 2 people at the same time, or else you'll probably get stuck in the middle or you'll go back behind them again. So for 2 laps straight, it was just where's the opportunity where I could pass both of them at once, or else I'm going to be stuck in 4th.
Yeah.
And it means they're also constantly getting the draft bonus.
Yeah, G11 had that same issue where he had to fight to get past them. I think you got past them just near the end in the double shark section. You got past Sol.
Yeah,
'cause I think he made a mistake. You got past him, and then you just had
he
more
hit the
boost
wall
than-
at the inside, and then I held down the boost button. Literally, that's all I did. I just held down the boost button and
Yeah,
hoped
and
it worked.
Jumpy ran out. So like Jumpy ran out of boost before you did. So we see him basically stop dead when his boost runs out, and you fly past him. So that was a big passing moment with like not long before the end of the race too. But yeah, no, it was
Yeah, it
really
was like
good to see those two
40
side by
seconds.
side the whole race. It was pretty intense. But yeah, if we look at next week, we are on Smooth Drift. It's a returning track from season 1, a very popular track. I think it might have been season 2 as well. I'm not sure. It's very loved by the PC community. It was one of the first good tracks ever put in the game. One of the first tracks put in World Race. It's fast paced without being all boost bars, all boost pads. It's just lots of corners that were fun and easy to do. And the biggest issue with the track is obviously there's the section where you can accidentally skip the what are they called? The checkpoints. If you cut the corner, like obviously everyone cuts the corner, that cut is allowed, but obviously there's 2 checkpoints there to keep you in check.
I feel like I'm the only person on PC who doesn't like that track, and it's purely because of those off-road checkpoints.
Yeah. So I was like in second place in season 1 on this track. I was doing so well, and then I missed the checkpoint on the last lap. Cut it too tight, missed the checkpoint. I got the audio, so you still get the audio that says checkpoint, but because your car didn't go through it, just your camera. Like the audio is connected to your camera, not your car, and that is one of the stupidest mistakes Milestone has ever made. If it plays the audio, it should count.
With that turn that's got like the 2 off-road checkpoints where you can miss that second one, there's literally 0 reason for that second checkpoint to be there. Because they could have just made it as the track piece, so you still have to go on the track.
I think it's
but because
just
it's that off-road one.
I think it's to minimize
like that checkpoint connects like straight to the track piece though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But it does force you to take more of the corner. Like you can't just go straight.
It just forces you into a really awkward drift angle because of that off-road checkpoint.
Yeah.
It is scary. I missed it several times during practice, so it's kind of dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if someone this weekend makes the same mistake and gets a missed checkpoint.
Oh, I think it happens every time. So someone's bound to. I hope it's standard. We will look at the teams, see what sort of inside information we got. Does anyone know who Wild Riders are sending in?
Absolutely no clue.
Let me think.
The video comes out well after the race, so don't worry. You're not giving away any real information.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I just want to see Crux race.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling Mog's gonna be there because there's that one spiral where you can build up a ton of boost.
Yeah.
I feel like my team would want me there if I didn't not like this track.
That makes sense. It does seem smart to put Mog on. Alpha's been killing it all season, so she's also another good person to put in. Luberg did well in his first race. It's all strong drivers. There's not really anyone that you can't put in.
My best guesses are going to be Mog and then either Kyrus or Ty because they want to get cars with more than 2 pips in there.
Yeah.
And those are all 3+ pip cars on really good drivers.
Yeah.
My best guess is on Mog. But for how this is a drift track, I want to say Happy.
Ooh. That's cool.
I want to say Flash might be a good car, though of course the spiral's not going to do it any favors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would be able to pass a lot of
pips,
people on the spiral because Flash can go around corners really fast. It's just you would lose out on the end after that because you can only charge 2 pips.
Definitely, and there's a lot of opportunities where 3 pips and higher can have a better advantage. So, although he could do good on the spiral, he'll never get a huge lead.
Mm-hmm.
Syndicate, do we have any ideas on who might be in for that?
I think Animax.
Yeah,
I hope
Animax.
Animax.
Animax really
Yeah, I hope
likes this
Animax.
track, and it's going to be good to see him on here without a 2-boost car. He finished like 11th or something in season 1 when he was on this track. Just had a bad race like I did. Just come off a fair bit, got taken out a couple of times. So he might want that redemption, and he does like the track as far as I know.
Raptor go bird.
I mean, I would like to see anyone other than Kami, so they get the most amount of chances to get invites here.
Yeah.
But I really want to see Akiro because we haven't seen him yet this season.
That is a bit of a
Yeah,
weird
you're
thing,
right.
right?
That's
Do you put
showed
in people?
Yeah, why
that
hasn't
you-
Akira raced?
We saw Akira.
Yeah, he's in the BMW
IRL.
too.
I'm sure we saw
IRL
Akira
stuff rolling.
on parkour.
Was he on parkour?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he was.
I haven't looked at any of the point of views.
I think he
So-
was.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. I just did commentary on it yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's where I'm up to. I've watched parkour. I also watched Riptide like it because I edited it. So he has done the one race, but yeah, I wanted to address the not putting in people who've already won. Like it's a bit of a like those are obviously your good drivers that you want to get the wins so that you can get the points for your team. But
Mhm.
if they win the race, they're not getting an invite. Someone else is getting it. So it's a bit of a, are you going for invites or are you going for
Yeah.
the team?
I mean, at the end of the day, invites don't do anything. They're just prestige, but it's still cool to say, hey, my team got X number of invites.
Yeah, exactly. Like we saw, I think it was 4 or 5 out of Syndicate in season 2.
I think it was 5 of them.
Yeah.
We're doing great right now. We have 0.
I think you're the only
I mean, that's just
team
because
on
your
0.
team is like letting you down.
I still want an invite on PS.
Yes. Third doesn't cut it.
I'm doing my best, okay?
Riptide,
And
who are you
maybe I'll
guys?
get it on Man on a Mission.
Yeah, it's a good track.
Here, let me whip out the server real quick.
Ooh, who we got for Riptide?
All right. Smooth Drift. It looks like we've got Jerzo and Star pulled up for this.
Ooh, cool.
So
Jerzo and
Yeah.
Star. So Synchro and
Synchro and Twin Mill.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Twinmill has a good history on this track.
Yeah.
Like, Den destroyed everyone with Twinmill on this one, but this was, a fair while ago when the driver level was way lower.
Yeah.
I
I
was
mean-
still racing, for God's sake.
It's kind of interesting to see this too because I thought they would be sending Whompy in because he
Yeah.
really likes this track, and then he's also in a 4-pip car that has good handling.
Yeah.
All
That's-
Dan needed to do that season was just a wiggle and presume he was in first.
I assume IRL stuff for anyone who doesn't participate. Honestly, that's half my team right now.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
honestly be putting in Jumpy and Miku. It seems like those are 2 just good level drivers that.
Come to think of it, how much has Miku raced this season? I think I've only seen him once.
I believe he was in the first 2 races.
Oh.
He was supposed to be in week 4, but he had PC issues the day of.
So it's always day of.
organizing backups. All right.
Well, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to move on to the next team, but you go.
Yeah. Like the day before that, he was saying, "Hey, I might need a sub because I might have IRL stuff going on," and then it just didn't even matter because he had PC stuff.
Rough. It's good
Feels
to have that
bad.
sub ready. Like, captains, please have your sub. Like, have a sub ready to go. Someone who
Yeah,
put
I
practice
wasn't
in.
like super practiced in the race, but
Yeah.
I had enough time that I was like, I can maybe get 7th.
Yeah. So, like, people are sometimes subbing with no experience on the track, and it's like, have your sub practice, guys. Come on. have 2.
There's a certain person in a Quattro this season who's subbed with no practice twice now, I believe.
I've like when I was running a competitive griffball team, we always had 2 subs on standby. It was just you guys need to be practicing for every match anyway, even though you're subs. Because if someone can't make it for whatever reason, I don't want half-assed players in.
Yeah, or if someone gets hurt.
Yeah. All right, and then we have BHR. I guess I'm kind of the inside.
Let's go BHR, best team, my favorite team of PC. Let's go.
I
They're the
really
best.
like their color scheme. Purple is a great color.
Yes,
Can you
it is a great
believe
color.
I created this team when I was like 12?
I would
what?
believe it.
I created this
How?
team when I was like 12. It was for another racing game. So I just was making all my cars this color scheme and logo and all this sort of stuff. It was my fictional team. And then I even painted like an old car in the pink and black and used like a knife to carve BHR in the side of it.
The Cobalt World Race lore deepens.
Honestly, I've been deciding on picking one car from the World Race to make in real life. I've been deciding between either Syndicate or BHR because BHR is my favorite team.
Yeah.
But Syndicate has my favorite liveries.
Yeah,
I feel like BHR would be a lot easier
yeah.
because you don't have to make the Atasha.
Yeah. honestly.
Yeah.
So for this one, this is obviously a special place for like Shuby, Norton, even Edward
Mhm.
and Joda. This is the season 1 drivers that are obviously going to want in on this track. I think Norton will probably put himself in on this one if he has the time for it. And then we've got, I think Ivan's probably going to go into, just because Ivan is a really good driver. And I think he has how many boost pips? Oh no, Joda's got to be the pick, right? He has like 4.
No, I don't think anyone on this team other than Edward has less than 3.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Because Norton's got 3, Edward's got 2, Ivan's got 5, Shuby's got 4, Joda's got 5, Maurice has 5, and G11 has 3.
I don't
Boost
see.
go burr.
I don't see. Shuby
I remember
going
last
in.
season, double pips was the meta. Now it's like anything now. So
3
I like
3
that a
pips
lot.
is optimal.
Yeah, I don't see
It
Shuby
really
going in. He's feeling a bit down after the last race. He got taken out by
Oh.
Kami early on, and then just had a bad time after that.
Yeah.
He like fell
Which
in
it's
the gap.
unfortunate.
Shuby.
Because Shuby was doing really well in practice on that track.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of I don't think he'll race on this one from that. And then, yeah, I think Joda is the pick here because A, phenomenal driver, and B, he's got the extra pips on the Quattro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a track he already knows. And I think Norton will put himself in because he likes the track. But there's a chance that Ivan might go in if Norton's busy.
I feel like the optimal picks, just in terms of cars, would be Joda, Ivan.
Yeah.
Second tier would be like Maurice, Shuby. Third tier, G11, Norton.
Yeah. I don't know, as much as like G11 is doing a lot for the team, but I feel with Ivan,
he's got his invite.
With Ivan and Joda as 2 like just absolute powerhouses because he's got his invite. You can sideline him a little bit, but it's just like not knowing the rest of the tracks also does make things hard because you don't know who you're saving for when.
Yeah.
But knowing in advance what race 12 is, I think they'd be sending Shuby and Ivan for race 12. That's my guess.
Yeah.
But that's,
I mean,
once they know it.
there's no rule on saying you can't send one person over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But at least like on Riptide, Soul's trying to get us about even with each other.
There's just people complain about it, and it does create a bit of a stigma when you do keep sending the same driver. A lot of people were complaining that Corpseless was in too many races and stuff like that in season 3, but that was because he was winning. Whereas if you looked at the stats, Norton did far more races than Corpseless in that season, and no one complained about that. It was just people were like upset that Corpseless was winning and being in the track all the time. And it was just a matter of like the other members of Riptide just weren't able to get in often. He was generally subbing. It wasn't just sending him in to win. But yeah, people get upset if someone wins too much. They don't care if someone races too much. Obviously, it's a little unfair on you your people on your team might be a bit upset about it. But so far, we've seen no one. Well, we have seen people leave their team, but I've never seen it be because they didn't like the situation. Like they didn't like how many races they got. I would like to see that someone say, "Hey, you didn't put me in for enough races. I'm out. I'm going to go join a different team."
Yeah,
I think that'd be a nice wake up call for the captains.
Yeah, I mean, again, on Riptide, we're trying to do about even. So even though I'm not really the best driver on the team, right, Star is about even with me, if not a little bit better than me, right, we're still getting put in the same amount as, like, Soul, Miku, Wampy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the diversity with Riptide this season.
All right, now we have Rally Monsters. Who's going for this track?
Me.
It's a mystery. You never know who's going to come for this team.
Cetus, Yeetus.
It's going to be Nader and a sub.
No, there will not be a sub this time. I promise you, there will not be a sub stand on this track.
Okay, given that this track isn't quite as chaotic as the previous ones are, I really want to see monster trucks. Give me the monster trucks.
No.
Monster truck.
You don't put monster trucks on the track.
Monster truck.
Why not?
It's too tight. It's too tight. The corners
There's
are too
like
tight.
no jumps
There's
to kill people.
There's green section, like there's.
He can handle it.
You know the green arrows on the walls? It's got those. Yeah. If you touch those in a monster truck, you're dead. These first few corners are too tight. There is a massive jump right at the start. I think a monster truck is a terrible idea here. Look, Garion is a great driver, and I'd love to see him on this track, but I don't think this track suits him. I'd be putting in Chase. This is a track that he does know. Or someone that just has a lot of boost pips.
Let him race. Let the monster truck race.
It's obviously
Unleash the monster trucks.
If I see a monster truck getting first place, I don't even know what I'd do. I want to see it though. I really want to see RJ get first place.
I want to see.
I really want to see a monster truck in the finale.
If monster truck gets first place, then Dandu has a chance at winning, but a very slim chance.
If that's the case, then I imagine Dandube's going to whip out the Bone Shaker monster truck at some point.
So Nader, it's you going in. Do you know who else?
I believe it has the sim, so it is swappable.
I know who it is, but I do not want to say.
You don't want to say? This is going to come out like 2 weeks after the race.
So
I'm not going to tell anyone.
RJ.
RJ?
Yes! Give me the
RJ's
monster
going
truck.
in with the monster truck.
Yeah, monster truck.
Yeah, so these are filmed like 2 weeks in advance, obviously, just because I want people to not know who's won the race before we go into it. Obviously, that makes commentary.
And I'm not going to lie, he is far better than you guys are expecting.
Oh, no, I get smoked by him in the monster truck all the time.
Like, we know he's
I
good.
want him to win this.
The vehicle is unfortunately a bit of a handicap. No matter how good you are, that vehicle is too easy to destroy.
Yeah,
it is.
And then there's tracks like Parkour where he joined our practice races a couple times and just got obliterated in that first corner every single time on that track.
Yeah, he wanted to race on Parkour, but after seeing the practice, he was like, all right, we need to find someone else. This isn't going to work out.
Yeah, that first corner kills regular cars. Monster trucks are not a good pick for that track.
Yeah. And then we got BSB.
Lol.
Thanks, Norton.
Bean Shaker Bakers.
I expect Dan Mirrison's going to
I want to say Apex.
Yeah?
I want Apex. I want to see him again.
I don't see any
Has
reason...
JC raced yet?
I believe JC and Red Raptor have not raced yet.
I thought JC has raced.
Did Pesh run for Parkour?
Not for Parkour.
I don't think... No, I don't think so.
That was...
Okay, that would mean
Den
Pesh
and
hasn't
Den
driven yet
and
either.
I think.
It was Den and AFX, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got 3 people who haven't raced yet.
Wow.
Hopefully they're putting in Den, because obviously this is a track he's won before, so it's a smart pick. They should just put Den in every race.
He's won in this track before?
Yeah, he won it season 1, like, by a lot.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Dan, not Den.
Yeah, no, Dan hasn't won on any track.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Dan Mirrison should be in every race if Dan Dube is smart.
Yeah, I want to see Den race.
And then
I don't think Den's available for like the last few races.
oh
No.
no,
I don't know how much, like how deep that goes, if this one's one of those races or what.
Look, BSB needs to be focused on one thing right now, and that's points.
Survival.
They need the points. And based on what I'm seeing here, I think if possible, the pick is Red Raptor or AFX. Or AFX got boost.
I never raced against it, Red Raptor. I have no idea how he is.
But-
He's consistently good. Like I think he's placed like 4th almost every time he's raced.
He's like
good,
me, but instead of placing 3rd, he places 4th.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like really handicapping himself with his car pick this season, though.
Yeah.
What did
Riveted
he
is
choose?
just not great.
Wait, what did he choose?
He's in Riveted.
Riveted?
That's a
Oh.
massive car.
Okay, is
a
he
I don't
in
know.
legendary or rare version?
legendary?
I'd imagine legendary.
'Cause
Wait, is the rare version better?
yeah, I believe that the tests. Somebody did tests and said
Well,
the red version is better.
If the rare
That's
version has
sad.
pips, it still has weaker boost than
Yeah,
legendary.
it just has weaker
and
boost,
weaker
but
stats.
it's just better at everything
Oh
else.
no, I already upgraded mine to legendary.
Oh no.
That's what mods are for.
My one is still
Yeah, but
common.
mods make you go to legendary immediately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. You have to use the mod to get the car, and then take off the mod to upgrade it.
Well, there's a mod that
Ah.
unlocks all the cars, right, without making it so upgrading jumps you straight to legendary.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Alternatively, like I think it was Invader is better at common than legendary.
Yep,
Try
Invader's
to play.
better at common.
Yeah.
Silly milestone.
Dan made me upgrade my invader to legendary for a stupid event that I couldn't even take part in because I got sick.
Oof.
Aww.
Wait, why did he make you upgrade it to legendary?
Because he said that everybody should race it in legendary and not in common, because then it would be cheating to race it in common.
How is it cheating? The score is still mid.
The car isn't
I think
even
it was
good
the
at
Invader
common.
event.
Because it was an
Yeah.
endurance
Legendary.
event. It was an endurance event.
Oh.
Anyways, it's so yeah. I'm gonna assume Den is going in, and hopefully AFX or Red Raptor. Jarl is an idea, but I think he just won't perform well with a boost bar for this track.
Well,
I think he
pretty
could,
much,
but I feel like
pretty
it'd be
much
too easy to
everyone's
die.
in boost bars here, right? The only three who aren't are Dan, JC, and Den.
Yeah.
Um,
I just don't think
I don't
JC
know.
has
I would
the
really
time
like to
practicing.
see Afix
Yeah,
because he does really well on drift tracks with his Shadowlack.
Chattel.
And then
Cadillac is really pretty.
unironically, I kind of want to see Dan.
Wait,
Bone
wait,
Shaker
who's
doesn't.
driving the Gucci thing that looks like the
Us?
taxi?
That's Afix in the
Affix,
Cadillac.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that car. think it's
But yeah,
pretty.
Bone Shaker doesn't lose a lot of speed in corners, right? So I actually think it's not an awful pick here.
Well, but it's Dan.
Yeah.
It's Dan.
Like, even if you give him the best car in the world, I think he probably wouldn't make first.
I've seen this dude skip and come 12th.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen
that
this dude
happened
skip on
once during
3
practice
laps.
as well.
3 times he skipped and came 12th.
That happened when we were practicing for I'm the Knight last season.
That's
He
funny.
skipped and still wound up last.
All right. So, who do we think's winning it? Who's the best driver that we can think of for this track?
Obviously BHR, because they're the best team.
Uh-huh.
Totally not biased.
This is a very interesting track. I've never actually raced it with 12 people before, so I have no idea how this is going to end up.
It's not that
Yeah.
chaotic. It's not too bad at all. The first jump very quickly splits people up, and then those first few corners spread them out.
I'd say the three people that I'm thinking are RJ, because the track
yes.
isn't quite as chaotic with people bouncing all over the place.
Mhm.
Joda, if he's on there, I think he has a really solid shot at taking first.
Joda, let's go.
And honestly, it again, right? If he goes, I think Ivan.
Yeah.
Those are my three.
Sounding like a BHR race.
Woo! Let's go.
BHR race.
I hope so. I like BHR, obviously.
Big EHR fan outside of PC.
Maybe this will be my race to get first. Who knows?
Yeah, no, you've been working your way for it. You've got a couple of seconds, so I am definitely excited to see you winning one. Actually, I was wondering, what's the difference between this and Street? Because obviously you were exclusively Street last season. You didn't have a team. How's the difference there? Is it the same, or is it, you know?
I guess I feel like I overtrained way too much for what Street League was. Barely, not too many people participated. I've seen more people participate in Street League this season than last.
Yeah.
I only raced, I think, once or twice ever in Street League, and that was it.
Yeah.
And of course, the second race I believe was the finale where I got disconnected, which I have since fixed that. I don't get disconnects anymore.
That's good.
But you go first.
No, that was it. That's all I had. That's good. Not disconnecting is important.
Yeah, it was holding me back a lot. Problem is I have to use a VPN for it because I get throttled by my internet service provider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even as just like a first season PC player, I feel like Street is very relaxed.
Yeah.
Right. I go into the Acceleron races and get swept. I get like 7th or 8th place. But in Street, week 1 we don't talk about that. I definitely didn't hit a track manga in the first loop or anything like that. But like parkour, right? Stargazer took 3rd, I took 4th. Right, so definitely a little more relaxed, a little bit easier of a group to take podiums in.
Yeah. There's no
I am probably
feeling
gonna
of letting
take-
teams down.
Mm-hmm.
I am probably going to take one Street League race and hope I get second or first. I'm not too sure yet which one I'm going to take,
Yeah.
but there will be one.
Cool. All right. I think that's all we have for today. Just double checking. Yeah. Definitely been a long recording.
Did we go over who we think's going to win for Xbox or PlayStation?
Oh, we did not actually.
Oh,
No,
we
wait,
have
we
not.
did. Yeah, we did right at the start.
Oh, we did? Oh,
No,
yeah.
well,
Man,
Oh,
Man
I
on
thought
Mission, right.
we talked about last week, but not this upcoming.
Yeah,
No.
we talked about last week. We haven't.
Oh, because
talked
I
about
said
the-
Roro's got a good shot here for Men on a Mission.
Yeah, I heard Man on
You
Mission.
didn't say
earlier.
anything for PlayStation though.
RMD. This is RMD's race.
Oh, RMD.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Easy
Yeah.
RMD.
Wait, what are the cars we have for PlayStation?
Don't really
Corvettes.
Yeah,
Just Corvette.
Corvettes and Power Rockets. The top.
yeah, and a
cars.
random rocket fire. I wonder who's driving that.
Oh, it's your boy.
Ah, but Gore's not on PlayStation.
There's also
No,
there's
it was
also
on Xbox.
BMW.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's Fedestic, right? I'm
Somehow.
surprised he hasn't won one
Yeah.
yet because that car is really good and he's pretty good.
I think he's had just some really tragic races.
Yeah.
Oh,
he missed the
every
checkpoint
race he
on
has like a
race two.
tragic accident or something.
Yeah.
Most of the time he hasn't even most of the time he dies, it's not even his fault.
he missed the checkpoint
just
on like
either-
race 2.
It's like he gets like 3rd in the beginning of the race, and then he slowly climbs up, and then also dies later on.
Yeah.
It's like the problem I had in my first season.
All right. We will wrap it up because it has been almost an hour. I think there was also a Masters League race today, right, Nita?
Today?
I don't know. I got told there was
Oh,
one.
oh yeah. I think yeah. I think. Let me check. I think it was for Chatter's Cup races stuff, like
oh
Mario
yeah,
Kart
for
style.
the Masters Grand Prix. There's
Oh,
one
yeah.
going on tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m.
No
Pacific.
worries.
He's showing off the tracks that he and I both built with Nitrobot stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
Ooh.
be there or be square.
I will choose to be
Alright.
square. I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
I've been
because
up-
he won't be
I'll-
around.
I've
I
been,
will
yeah,
try to be there since I don't
I've
have
been
school
up at
tomorrow.
7 a.m. for the last 3 days. I'm done after today.
Get some sleep, Cobalt. You need some.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all for the race this weekend. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I probably won't be seeing you guys back on the couch for the rest of the season because you guys are up at just the wrong time for me.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, usually you record these at the morning for me.
Yeah.
You record this before I even wake up.
Yeah. Well, this one's recorded before I even wake up, so
Yeah, you record like 4 a.m. for me.
I'll try and diversify them more, but it's difficult. Anyways,
Yeah.
thanks for joining, and we will see everyone. At the race.
Yeah,
Alright.
thank you for having me here.
Riptide.
God
Thanks for
damn it.
having me.
Sure.
I hope BHR wins. BHR, win for me.
We need to have a week without a Riptide guy, so I don't have to hear that every time.
It's okay. We'll just recruit someone to say it anyways.